You know, there's this very specific universal kind of dread that happens at like 7:15 in the morning.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. You are standing in your bedroom, you're staring into a closet that is just stuffed full of fabric, and you think to yourself, I have absolutely nothing to wear.
Yeah, it's a daily ritual of frustration for so many of us.
It really is. And today's deep dive is all about that exact problem. We're looking at a comprehensive guide called Subscription Style Boxes. Are they worth the monthly fee?
Which is such a massive question right now, considering how much the industry is booming.
Exactly. And the guide breaks down the pros, the cons, the actual costs, and also gets into the role of modern fashion platforms like Apparelizer.
Right, because the ecosystem is getting a lot more complex than just getting a box in the mail.
Yeah. So our mission today, for you listening, is to really decode the true value of outsourcing your wardrobe. Like, is this the ultimate life hack for saving time and looking sharp? Or, is it just an incredibly expensive fast track to adding more clutter to that closet?
It's a great framing. Because if you think about that 7:15 dread, it's actually a visual manifestation of decision fatigue before your day has even started.
Fatigue. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You're basically looking at a physical timeline of your past choices, like your old styles, maybe a few impulsive sale purchases that never quite fit, right?
Oh, we all have those.
Right, or items you bought for a very specific event like 3 years ago, and none of it makes sense for who you need to be today. So the cognitive load of trying to piece together a coherent outfit from that chaos is genuinely overwhelming.
And usually, the solution to that dread is to just carve out hours of your weekend, trudge to a mall, or spend your evening endlessly scrolling through online catalogs.
Which is exhausting in itself.
Totally. You're trying to guess if, like, a medium in one brand is somehow the exact same as a medium in another. But what if you could just completely outsource that entire headache? Because if you're anything like the rest of us, your time is incredibly valuable.
Oh, absolutely. And to figure out if these boxes are worth that trade-off, we have to look under the hood of how these subscription-style services actually operate.
Right.
Because the subscriber is making a fundamental trade-off. They are trading the traditional effort of shopping, the browsing, the traveling, the fitting rooms, for algorithmic curation. You are literally handing the reins over to a system.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the process itself is actually pretty involved up front.
It's not just a quick checkout, no.
No, not at all. When you sign up for one of these boxes, you don't just click buy and wait for a t-shirt to show up. You have to fill out this highly detailed style profile.
And they ask for everything.
Right. Sizing, obviously. But they really dig deep into your lifestyle. They want to know if you are a busy parent, a corporate professional, or if you're just working from home.
Yeah, budget preferences, colors you gravitate toward.
Even specific trends you absolutely cannot stand.
Because you are essentially building a complex, multi-dimensional data matrix. They aren't just asking those questions to be polite.
Like they actually use all that.
Oh, heavily. When you say you commute by train, the algorithm starts filtering for fabric durability and wrinkle resistance.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And when you say you have young kids, it might instantly downrank dry clean only silks because that just wouldn't make sense for your life.
That is wild.
So once you submit that profile, a hybrid system takes over. Usually it's an AI-powered fashion system that sifts through literally millions of inventory data points to create a shortlist.
Okay, so it's a machine doing the heavy lifting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then a professional human stylist reviews that shortlist to add like a touch of human intuition before the box is actually finalized.
Got it. And then depending on your plan, maybe you get it monthly, maybe quarterly, this curated box just arrives on your doorstep.
Right, two-door.
Yeah. You try the clothes on in your own bedroom, you keep what you like, and send the rest back using a prepaid return label.
Well, and they adapt to the seasons, too.
Right, so you get heavy coats in winter, linen in the summer. The core appeal is undeniably the massive time savings. You completely bypass the browsing phase.
You're buying time back.
Exactly. Plus, there's this thrill of discovering emerging designers or, like, premium labels you probably would never have stumbled across on your own.
And that reduction of decision fatigue is the real product they are selling. We make thousands of micro choices every single day.
Oh, for sure.
So removing the what do I wear and where do I buy it variables, it frees up significant mental bandwidth for more important tasks. You're buying mental space just as much as you're buying a sweater.
I completely get the appeal of having one less thing to worry about, but I have to ask, Isn't this essentially like a dating app for your closet?
A dating app, how so?
Well, you put in a profile, right? You list your height and your preferences, and
Hmm.
then you just sit back and hope a stranger or worse, a machine matches you with the one.
That's an interesting way to put it.
I mean, fashion is highly subjective. How can an algorithm or some remote stylist sitting in a cubicle 1,000 miles away possibly capture what makes you feel confident?
Well, that dating app analogy is actually the perfect way to understand the underlying code.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because just like a dating app, your first few matches are based on very superficial filters.
Yeah.
Age, location, height, or in this case, waist size, and color preference.
That's pretty basic at first.
The initial box is, frankly, an educated guess. But the real mechanism, the actual math that makes these companies viable, happens afterward through a continuous feedback loop.
Okay, so it learns.
Exactly. The algorithm only learns your actual type based on what you swipe right on over time.
So if they send me like a pair of bright yellow corduroys and I immediately send them back saying, never do this to me again, this system is taking notes.
It's doing much more than taking notes. Every time you return an item, you are actively training the algorithm. And these systems use natural language processing to read your return notes. So if you type, it pulled too much across the chest, the system updates your specific body shape matrix.
That is incredibly detailed.
It is. It starts analyzing the fabric stretch coefficients of what you keep versus what you return. Over time, the AI aggregates your data with thousands of other users who have similar profiles.
So it groups me with people like me.
Right. It starts predicting what you will love based on the hidden patterns of what people exactly like you have kept. Honestly, it eventually understands your fit tolerances better than you do.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting because that algorithmic training period you just mentioned, that takes time.
It definitely takes time.
You have to suffer through a few bad dates, so to speak. And while the algorithm is learning, you are still paying for the service. Which brings us to the next logical question. What does this training period actually cost you, both financially and practically?
Well, the financial architecture of these services is layered. They definitely are not one size fits all, and understanding the tiers is crucial because the costs can be pretty deceptive.
Right, because there are three main tiers. You have your budget boxes, which run about, what, $20 to $50 a month?
Yeah, roughly 20 to 50.
Then you step up to mid-range services, sitting in that $50 to $100 sweet spot.
Which is where a lot of people land.
And finally, the premium fashion subscriptions, which can easily range from $100 to $300 or more every single month. But here is the kicker, that doesn't always include the clothes.
This is the part that catches people off guard.
Right. Many companies charge an upfront styling fee, usually like $20 or $30, just to curate the box. They often apply it as a credit if you buy something, but it's still an upfront sunk cost.
And that upfront styling fee fundamentally alters consumer psychology.
Because you've already paid something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are paying a recurring fee for items you might have been able to find cheaper if you shopped independently, just to have someone else do the hunting.
Plus, there's the total loss of control. I mean, traditional shopping means you walk to a rack, you touch the fabric and say, I want to buy this specific blue shirt.
Yeah, you're the one in charge.
With these boxes, you don't choose the items beforehand. It reminds me of ordering omakase at a high-end sushi restaurant.
Oh, the chef's tasting menu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are completely surrendering to the chef's menu. It is absolutely thrilling to let the expert decide if you are an adventurous eater, but it is utterly terrifying if you are picky.
Very true.
And frankly, if you are paying premium prices upwards of $300 a month and still risking getting an omakase menu you dislike, aren't you essentially paying to be frustrated?
The omakase analogy highlights the exact friction point. But in behavioral psychology, people are willing to take that risk because they are desperately trying to eradicate fashion-related stress.
You just want it handled.
Right. They are buying the feeling of being pampered. However, that sunk cost we mentioned, the styling fee, creates a very dangerous psychological trap. It leads to something known as the guilt keep.
Oh man, the guilt keep. I think we need to linger on this because it is so incredibly common.
It happens to almost everyone.
I'll admit it, right now I have a $150 jacket hanging in the back of my closet, tags still on, simply because returning it meant finding a working printer for the shipping label, and I just couldn't be bothered that week. Tell us how the subscription model weaponizes this.
Well, your jacket is the perfect example of friction dictating behavior. In the subscription box model, a user receives their monthly delivery, they try on an item, and it's just okay.
Just okay, not great.
Exactly. It's not a disaster, but it doesn't spark joy. But the process of repackaging it, taping the box, and remembering to drop it off at the post office introduces friction.
It's an errand?
It is.
Yeah.
More importantly, they remember that $20 styling fee they already paid.
Yeah.
If they return everything, they lose that $20 entirely.
Oh, so the math kicks in.
Right. Their brain rationalizes. They think, well, I'll wear this mediocre shirt eventually, and at least I get my styling fee credited. They keep an item out of sheer guilt and loss aversion.
So you end up right back where you started at 7:15 in the morning, staring at a closet full of clothes you don't actually want to wear, only now you paid a premium for them and you're paying it every single month.
It is a brutal cycle.
That's terrible. If the biggest risk is falling into that deep keep trap and feeling like you've completely lost control of your own closet, there has to be a way to manage this.
There is. The key is shifting your mindset from being a passive consumer to an active curator. You cannot just let the box happen to you.
You don't have to actually interact with it.
You have to manage the service.
And there are some incredibly practical ways to do that. First, as we established with the algorithm, you have to provide obsessively detailed feedback.
Yes. Do not hold back.
Don't just check a box that says didn't fit. Write a paragraph. Tell them the armholes were too high and the fabric felt cheap.
The AI needs that data.
Second, you need to constantly update your style profile. If you change jobs from a corporate office to a remote setup, your profile needs to reflect that immediately, or you'll keep getting blazers you don't need.
Which just leads to more guilt keeps.
Exactly. Third, set a firm, non-negotiable monthly budget before you start so you don't get swept up in the excitement of keeping a premium box you can't afford.
You also shouldn't be afraid to test multiple services.
Oh, really? Hop around.
Yeah, because different providers specialize in entirely different aesthetics and utilize completely different algorithms.
That makes sense.
But the most effective way to maintain control is to utilize external tools to define your style before the box even ships.
Right.
This is where